Hey guys, right, bit of a change today. We're on the trailer, not the Argo. Got a bit of changes every so often. So, as few of you may remember, back on my earlier videos, I'm not too happy with how the trailer gets loaded and unloaded. The fact you have to unhook it from the tow vehicle, drive the Argo up, leave the front end shoot into the air, and then once you drive on, the front end comes crashing down. Like the last guy said, he went through jockey wheels like no tomorrow. You would, not designed to have the weight of an Argo crashing down with them. So I've been thinking about it, been designing, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to change into a flatbed trailer, a little bit longer, make it pivot as well, so it can stay hooked up to the tow vehicle at all times. Makes life a little bit easier and safer. As well, this pair of skids by here, I thought they were reinforced underneath. They're literally just 2-3mm steel bent into a trough, welded either side to the axle and a bit of a crossbar at the back, and that's it. No strengthening underneath, nothing on the front. If you remember, when I had the Argo first, all the tyres were dead. Obviously they're there. You can see that one's not even a circle anymore. But when they're all deflated, you're sitting on the rims, and the Argo was actually sitting on this crossbar. No damage, luckily. Obviously it's gone down over the last 15 years slowly. But we're going to change all that. I'm going to get rid of these troughs, make it into a proper flatbed, reinforce it, proper bracing, nice steel, and make it a little bit longer as well, because no matter what size trailer you have, it's always too short. Still a bit of confusion with this trailer as to whether it was custom made for the Argo or if it came over when the Argo was imported, but either way I don't like it that much. It's not too safe, so we're going to change it. I'm going to break up the grinder, break up the welder, and see what we can do. So I'm going to head over to a buddy of mine's now. He's a proper fabricator welder. We'll play about and see what we can do. Catch up with you soon. Right, it's daylight. We're back on the trailer. Apologies for yesterday. Time got away from us in the end, so there was a lack of photos and videos going on for the build, but I'm back on it now, a bit more time. So the original Argo trailer is still there just about. So you got the rustier green stuff with the single hitch and drawbar, going back to cross brace, pair of stub axles, back a bit more to another bit of angle at the back just by there. So you can tell from the build it's a lot stronger, a lot more steel, and almost twice as long. If I just pan out all the way, that's all of it. So I extended the front by about 1 meter or so, and the back, the old Argo finished just in that centre of that triple there, so about 1.5 meters further back again. So that means I can carry the Argo and a camping trailer behind me just to get out to shows and do a bit of exploring. So it's all thick 3 and 4mm box section and 10mm flat bar welded across to cross brace it. Got these 2-inch square cleats as well, so they're going to hold my mesh in place. Had a great deal on some mesh panels. This stuff is like gold dust at the moment. So they're about 1.5 meters long, just under 1 meter short. Galvanized, cross braced. They can take roughly 3/4 ton per section, so more than enough for what I need. So I got 4 of them. You can see where the extra bracing is, and the trailer is just a little bit longer, so I can carry my camping trailer to overhang. So it's made it up with flat bar. So I didn't really want to weld the mesh to it. So we've got these square cleats. So just drop the mesh over, bolt them through with some more square washers, and it's all done. So it means I can paint the whole trailer and leave them as galved. So I'll just grab you a bolt now. So these 70mm M10 bolts, nice and strong, plate washers again. I'll go straight through the mesh into the hole, clamp it all down. And as well, if I want to do maintenance of the trailer, make it even longer or shorter, I can unbolt those and just cut the steel. So the drawbar, we took about 1 meter longer, then came back either side, straight down both sides. I've got a pin in there so she tilts up, just to make loading that a little bit easier. My main concern was loading it the old-fashioned way with the original part of the trailer. I would either go off the other end or put the Argo straight to the back of one of my towing vehicles. So I used the original Argo hitch, welded a new ball onto the drawbar, so that drawbar can stay there. Open the hitch, Pneumatic ram, she's ready to go. So we've got receiver there, hole in the original drawbar there as well for that pin. Put it straight through, bit of compressed air, she'll tip it up and she'll pull it back down as well. I'm going to test fit that mesh now, make sure all those line up. You should do, because there's 4 million holes per one, but my luck guarantee a few won't line up. If they're fit and they're happy, I'll throw some paint at it, because it's a nice fresh steel, don't get it to rust too badly. Right, there we have it, totally changed again. So just bolted the mesh pounds on nice and quick, one in each corner to see how they fit. Didn't all line up exact with the tabs underneath, but my luck, I knew that wouldn't happen. But it's looking good, I'm happy with it. It looks more like a trailer now. She's long, but she's very strong. Ideal. So take the mesh back off now, we'll throw some paint on it. Hopefully a bit of rust prevention as well. All this new steel, don't want to kill it. Time to get squirting. There we are, so we're getting there. Bit disappointed I haven't finished it. I sunk 4 of these big old cans into it, and I'm half the top end of the trailer left. Bit annoying, but can't be helped. But I'd rather have a good thick coat, make sure it doesn't rust. So short-term gain, long-term loss. Don't want to cut corners. So underside had a good blast in. The top side about halfway, so that little section there back. So I'm using this Underseal chassis paint, great stuff. So if I'm going to be using it on the beach, at least then it's a bit more protected against the salt. And over here with these UK roads, it's wet in the winter, a little bit icy, so the councils cover them in salt, which kills the cars. But good dose done, shoot off, grab some more paint, hopefully get back before it's dark, and do the rest of it. But it's shaping, that's like a proper job. Right, I'm back from the store, got the rest of the paint, blowing it over, so it's like one good paint all over. Ideally it's going to have 2, but I got a show in a couple of days. The weather's not going to be too good, so it's a case of get everything set up, use it, and then after the show I'll strip it down and give it another paint. As you can hear, the van's ticking over, so what I'm doing, I still haven't sorted the voltage regulator on the Argo, so she's charging through that front charge point I fitted. So obviously when I'm normally driving I can charge it, it'll power the winch, and like now I can power up my battery, just give it a little charge. It's throwing over, but it could be a bit better. So as I'm up here, leave a charge off the van, just so when I'm in the show I don't look daft and have a flat battery. Right, she's all painted up. I'm going to throw the mesh on, bolt it down, put the ram on. I've made a little goodies box to go on the front of it. That's got its own little battery for the trailer with the solenoids and the airlines. I'll do a separate video for that as well. But for now, time to throw some mesh on, get it back like a proper trailer. So there we have it. The mesh is on, they're all bolted down. 8 bolts per sheet, 4 sheets, 32 nuts and bolts. Doesn't sound a lot, but it is. Took about half hour in all, not too bad, longest part was doing them all up. Got most of the square plates square, couple aren't 100%, but it's coming back off the paint soon, so I'm not too worried about that. So that's her done. Next time we get a bit of time, I'll put the piston on the front, put the magic box on these little up stands, make it tip. There's no rush for that yet. I can tip it up and down by hand just to load the Argo if needed. So she's done, another job off the list.